The surface of the earth is where we live, where we build our homes and plant our gardens, where sunlight touches our faces and rain falls from the sky. This is the world we know, the world of light and air and open horizons. But beneath our feet, beneath the soil and stone, beneath the foundations of the familiar world, there is another realm, a mirror world, a shadow kingdom, a place of passages and chambers carved into living rock, where entire cities exist in eternal twilight, where thousands of people once lived their lives without ever seeing the sun. These are not myths, these are not legends, these are real places, physical spaces that you can walk through today if you travel to the high plateau of central Turkey, to the region known as Cappadocia. And tonight, as you settle in to rest, we invite you to descend with us, to leave the surface world behind and journey into the depths, to explore the underground cities of Anatolia, to walk their silent corridors and stand in their empty rooms and ask the question that echoes through their darkness. Why? Why did human beings choose to build entire civilizations beneath the earth? Close your eyes. Let your breathing slow. Feel your body becoming heavy, sinking deeper into comfort, as if you yourself are descending, down through layers, down through time, down into the cool, quiet darkness of the underground world. There is no danger here, only mystery, only the gentle invitation to wonder, to imagine what it would be like to live in a city with no sky, no stars, no horizon, a city where the ceiling is stone and the walls are rock, and every breath of air must be channeled through shafts carved with ancient tools. Why would anyone choose such a life? What were they hiding from? What were they protecting? And what did they know that we have forgotten? Our journey begins now, on the surface, in the strange and beautiful landscape of Cappadocia. For you cannot understand the cities below without first understanding the land above, the land that made them possible, the land that called them into being.
Cappadocia. The name itself sounds like something from a fairy tale, and when you see it, you understand why. This is a landscape that does not look quite real, that seems to belong more to dream than to waking life. Vast plateaus of pale stone stretch to the horizon, carved by wind and water over millions of years into forms that defy simple description. They are called fairy chimneys, these rock formations, tall pillars of soft volcanic tuff, topped with harder caps of basalt, standing like sentinels across the valleys. Some are thin as fingers, others are massive as towers. They cluster together in forests of stone, creating a landscape that looks like the ruins of some ancient giant civilization, or the drip castles of a god playing at the beach of the world. But Cappadocia is more than just beautiful. It is useful, uniquely, perfectly suited for a specific kind of human adaptation. Because the rock here, the volcanic tuff that was laid down by ancient eruptions millions of years ago, has a remarkable property. It is soft, soft enough to be carved with simple tools, soft enough that a person with a chisel and determination can hollow out rooms, carve staircases, dig tunnels. And yet, once exposed to air, it hardens. It becomes stable, strong enough to support weight, strong enough to last for thousands of years. This combination, soft enough to work, hard enough to endure, made Cappadocia the perfect place for people to do something that would seem impossible anywhere else. To carve their homes, their churches, their monasteries, their entire cities, not from stone blocks laid one atop another, but from the living rock itself. To excavate rather than construct, to create space by removal rather than by addition, to build downward rather than upward. And they did. For thousands of years, people in this region carved into the rock. On the surface, they created cave dwellings, rock-cut churches decorated with frescoes of saints and angels, monasteries with multiple levels of rooms and corridors, all hollowed from single formations. But they did not stop at the surface. They went deeper, much deeper. They discovered that if you could carve into the rock horizontally, you could also carve vertically. You could dig down and down and down, creating multiple levels, one beneath another, connected by narrow shafts and staircases carved from stone, creating vast underground complexes that could house not just families, but entire communities, creating the underground cities.
Let yourself imagine this process. Imagine the first person who looked at the rock and thought, "I will carve my home from this." Imagine the first time someone dug not just into the side of a hill, but down beneath their feet, creating a chamber below ground level. Imagine the realization, we can go deeper. We can create an entire world beneath the surface, layer upon layer, room upon room, a city in the earth. How many generations did it take to complete? How many hands held the chisels? How many years of patient, determined excavation? We do not know, we cannot know, but we can see the result, and it is extraordinary. More than 200 underground cities have been discovered in Cappadocia and the surrounding region. 200. And it is believed that there are more still undiscovered, hidden beneath vineyards and fields, beneath modern towns and villages, waiting to be found. Most of these are small, only a few rooms or a single level, but some are vast. Some are architectural marvels that rival any ancient construction in the world. And the largest of these, the most famous, the most visited and studied, is Derinkuyu. The name means deep well in Turkish, and it is aptly named. For Derinkuyu descends into the earth like a stone dropped into dark water, level after level after level, until you stand in chambers that are 85 meters below the surface. 85 meters. That is the height of a 25-story building, but inverted, plunging down into the rock instead of rising into the sky. Let us descend now in our imagination into Derinkuyu. Let us walk its corridors and see its rooms. Let us try to understand what it was like to live in this underground world. The entrance is small, unassuming, just a tunnel mouth in the hillside, easy to miss if you did not know it was there, easy to hide, to disguise, to seal if enemies approached. You enter. Immediately, the temperature changes. Outside, Cappadocia can be brutally hot in summer, bitterly cold in winter. The plateau experiences extremes, but underground, the temperature is constant, approximately 13 degrees Celsius, year-round, cool but not cold, stable, comfortable. This is one of the first advantages of living underground. Climate control without technology. The earth itself insulates, protects, maintains equilibrium.
The first corridor is low. You must duck your head slightly. Your eyes adjust to the dimness. There is artificial light now, installed for tourists, but when this city was occupied, there would have been only oil lamps, small flames flickering in niches carved into the walls, casting moving shadows, creating a world of amber light and deep darkness. You walk forward. The corridor branches, turns, slopes downward, and you come to the first large chamber, a communal space. The walls are smooth, carved with care. The ceiling is curved, following the natural stress patterns of the stone, creating arches that support the weight above without the need for pillars. This is engineering, sophisticated understanding of how stone behaves, how weight distributes, how to create safe, stable spaces deep underground. Around this central chamber, smaller rooms branch off. These are living quarters, family rooms. Each is modest in size, perhaps 4 meters by 3 meters, with a low ceiling, a curved niche carved into one wall that might have served as a bed or a shelf. There are no windows, no natural light, only the doorway, which can be closed with a stone disc. These stone doors are one of the most distinctive features of the underground cities. They are circular slabs of volcanic rock, often a meter in diameter and 15 centimeters thick, weighing hundreds of kilograms. They fit into grooves carved into the doorways and can be rolled into place from the inside, sealing a room or corridor completely. Once closed, they cannot be opened from the outside. This is defensive architecture. These cities were designed to be defended, room by room, level by level, sealed tight against invaders. You continue deeper, down a narrow staircase carved from the rock, the steps worn smooth by countless feet over centuries. The air is cool and surprisingly fresh. You would expect staleness, suffocation, but you are breathing easily. Why? Because of the ventilation shafts. These are perhaps the most remarkable engineering achievement of the underground cities. Vertical shafts, some of them running from the deepest levels all the way to the surface, over 80 meters of carved stone, creating a chimney for air circulation. The shafts are not straight, but have slight angles, turns, offsets. This prevents enemies from dropping things down them, prevents them from being easily blocked. And they serve a dual purpose. They bring fresh air down and stale air up through natural convection. And they carry water. Deep wells were dug to reach the water table, and the same shafts that brought air also brought water up to different levels. Without these shafts, the cities would be uninhabitable. With them, they could support thousands of people indefinitely.
You reach the second level, then the third. Each level has the same basic structure: central chambers for gathering, smaller rooms for living, storage rooms carved into the walls, niches everywhere for lamps. And there are specialized spaces too. Here is a wine press carved from the rock, with channels to carry the juice to a collection basin. Here is a stable with carved troughs for feeding animals. Archaeologists have found evidence that livestock were brought underground during times of danger: goats, sheep, even cattle. The underground cities were not just hiding places for people. They were complete, self-contained environments. Everything needed for life was here. Food storage rooms with the constant cool temperature, perfect for preservation. Kitchens with smoke holes carefully carved to channel smoke up and out, disguising it, dispersing it, so that enemies on the surface would not know the city was occupied. Wells for water, living quarters for families, communal spaces for gathering, even churches. Yes, churches, carved into the rock, with altars and niches for icons, crosses carved into the walls. These were Christian communities, and even in their underground refuge, they maintained their spiritual life, their worship, their connection to the divine. You descend further, the fourth level, the fifth. Here the spaces were more cramped, the ceilings lower. These deeper levels may have been used less frequently, reserved for times of greatest danger, for extended sieges, or they may have had specialized purposes that we do not fully understand. There are meeting halls here, large rooms with carved benches along the walls, spaces where the entire community could gather. There are schoolrooms, identifiable by the carved benches arranged in rows. Education continued underground. Life continued underground. This was not just a temporary shelter. For some periods of history, this was home. Children were born here. The elderly died here. Life's full cycle played out in these stone chambers. At the deepest level, you stand in the silence and the darkness. Above you are 7 more levels, 7 layers of rock and chambers and corridors, and then finally the surface, the sky, the sun. But down here, none of that exists. Here there is only the weight of stone, the cool, stable air, the sense of being held in the earth like a child in the womb. It is peaceful, profoundly peaceful. The silence is not empty, but full of the presence of all the people who have stood in this exact spot over the centuries, full of their breath, their prayers, their fears, their hopes. The underground city is not dead, it is sleeping, waiting, remembering. Let the image settle. Let yourself feel what it would be like to live without sun, without stars, without the sight of the horizon, to know the world only as stone and corridor and the light of oil lamps. Would it be terrifying? Or would it, after a time, become normal? Would you miss the surface, or would you come to love the security, the stability, the embrace of the earth? But the question remains, why? Why did people build these cities? What drove them to undertake such monumental labor? What were they hiding from?
The answer, like all answers to deep historical questions, is layered, multiple, complex. The underground cities were not built all at once for a single purpose. They evolved over thousands of years, expanded and adapted as the needs of the people changed. But we can identify several key reasons, several historical pressures that made life underground not just appealing, but necessary. The first reason is defense. Anatolia, the peninsula that forms most of modern Turkey, has been a crossroads of civilizations for millennia. It sits at the meeting point of Europe and Asia. It has been invaded, conquered, fought over more times than can be easily counted. Hittites, Phrygians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Seljuk Turks, Mongols, Ottomans. Wave after wave of armies have marched across this land. And for the people living here, especially for minority communities, for the vulnerable, for those who could not field armies of their own, survival meant hiding, meant having a place to go when the raiders came, when the soldiers marched, when the tax collectors arrived demanding more than could be given. The underground cities were the ultimate defensive architecture. They were invisible from a distance. A raiding party could ride past without ever knowing that beneath their horses' hooves, thousands of people were hiding in the rock. And even if discovered, they were nearly impossible to assault. The entrances were small, easily defended. The corridors were narrow, preventing large groups from entering at once. The stone doors could seal off sections, creating a maze of dead ends and blocked passages. And if attackers did fight their way in, they would face defenders who knew every turn, every level, every secret passage, who could ambush from hidden rooms, who could retreat deeper and seal levels behind them. The cities could be provisioned for months. They had food, water, air. They could simply wait for the raiders to give up, wait for the army to move on, wait for safety to return. And then they could emerge, push open the stone doors, climb the stairs, and step back into the light.
But defense was not the only reason. There was also religion, specifically the practice of Christianity in a world that was often hostile to it. The early Christians of Anatolia faced persecution. Under the Romans, before Christianity became the state religion, to be Christian was to be suspect, to be vulnerable. During the Arab invasions of the 7th and 8th centuries, Christian communities were again under pressure. And even during the Byzantine period, During conflicts over doctrine and power, some Christian groups found themselves on the wrong side of official policy. For all of these groups, the underground cities offered sanctuary, a place to worship without fear, a place to preserve their texts, their traditions, their way of life. This is why so many of the underground cities contain churches, why there are baptismal fonts carved from rock, why there are frescoes of saints on the walls of underground chapels. The depths became holy space, the earth became the church, and in that darkness, faith was kept alive. There is a beautiful irony here. These people descended into the earth to reach toward heaven. They buried themselves alive to preserve spiritual life. The underground was not an abandonment of the light, but a different path toward it, a hidden path, a protected path. In the stone womb of the earth, Christianity gestated, grew strong, waited for the moment when it could emerge and flourish in the open air. But there may be even older reasons, even deeper reasons. The underground cities we know were not all built during the Christian era. Some sections, some chambers show evidence of much earlier construction. The Hittites, who ruled Anatolia 3,000 years ago, may have begun the first excavations. The Phrygians continued the work. By the time the Christians arrived, there were already underground structures, already a tradition of carving into the rock, already a cultural understanding that the depths were a place of refuge, of power, of mystery. The underground cities we see today are palimpsests, layer upon layer of construction, each generation adding, expanding, adapting the work of those who came before. And perhaps in the very beginning, the reason was not defensive at all, but simply practical. In the harsh climate of the Anatolian plateau, where summers are scorching and winters freezing, where wood for building is scarce and stone abundant, it may have simply made sense to carve homes from the rock, to create spaces that were cool in summer, warm in winter, protected from wind and weather. And once the first chambers were carved, once people realized how deep they could go, how much space they could create, the possibilities expanded. Why not go deeper? Why not create storage rooms, gathering halls, entire neighborhoods underground? Why not, in times of danger, bring everyone down? Why not create a city?
Breathe slowly now. Let the weight of time settle on you like a blanket. Thousands of years, countless hands, infinite patient labor chipping away at stone, carrying out the rubble, smoothing the walls, carving the ventilation shafts inch by inch, generation after generation. This was not the work of a lifetime, but of many lifetimes. The person who began carving a room never saw it completed. The person who completed it never saw how their children would expand it, would dig deeper, would add another level. The underground cities are monuments to collective effort, to the understanding that some things take longer than one life, that some work is done for those who come after, that we build not for ourselves, but for our descendants. And the cities worked. For over 1,000 years they were used, occupied, lived in. Generations of people called them home, at least part of the time. Families grew up in the depths. Children learned to navigate the corridors in the dark. Young people fell in love in the lamplit of the communal chambers. The elderly died and were mourned and buried, and life continued in the eternal twilight of the underground world. The cities were not tombs. They were not dead places. They were vibrant, living communities, hidden beneath the earth, unknown to most of the world, secret civilizations in the stone. And then, gradually, they were abandoned.
as the political situation stabilized, as the threats diminished, as the Christian communities gained power and could live openly on the surface, as the Ottomans brought a different kind of order to the region. The underground cities were used less and less, sealed up, forgotten. The entrances were covered over, hidden, lost. For centuries, the city slept. Local people sometimes knew of them, used upper levels for storage, but the deeper levels were forgotten. The vast networks of corridors and chambers became the domain of silence and darkness and slowly creeping dust. Until, in the 1960s, a man in the town of Derinkuyu was renovating his house. He knocked down a wall in his basement, and behind it he found a room he had not known was there, a room carved from solid rock, and at the back of that room, a corridor leading down. He explored, he descended, and he realized he had found something extraordinary. He had found the entrance to the underground city. And when archaeologists came and excavated and explored, they discovered the full extent of it. 8 levels, thousands of rooms, a city that could house 20,000 people. All of it hidden beneath the town, beneath the streets and houses, beneath the ordinary surface of daily life. The underground world had been there all along, patient, waiting, keeping its secrets until the moment came to be revealed once more.
Derinkuyu is not unique. Kaymaklı, another underground city just a few kilometers away, may be even larger, though it has not been fully excavated. It descends to at least 8 levels and may connect to Derinkuyu through a tunnel kilometers long, though this connection has not been fully explored. Imagine that, 2 vast underground cities connected by a hidden passage, allowing people to travel from one to the other without ever surfacing. An underground highway beneath the Cappadocian plateau. And there are more. Özkanok, Mazikoy, Tatlarin, dozens of smaller cities, hundreds of underground complexes. Beneath Cappadocia lies an entire shadow civilization, a mirror world, a network of connected spaces that we are only beginning to understand. And we may never fully understand it, because the cities were not built with documentation. There are no blueprints, no architectural plans, no written records explaining who built what and when and why. We must read the stones themselves, interpret the wear patterns on the stairs, analyze the tool marks on the walls, use carbon dating and archaeological stratigraphy to piece together a timeline. And even then, much remains mysterious. There are chambers whose purpose we can only guess. There are tunnels that lead nowhere. There are sealed passages that have not been opened, that may lead to even deeper levels, to lost chambers, to secrets still hidden. The underground cities resist complete understanding. They hold their mysteries close. And perhaps that is appropriate. Perhaps some things should remain mysterious. Perhaps the depths should keep their secrets, because the mystery is part of what makes them powerful, part of what draws us to them, part of what makes us lie awake at night and wonder, what would it be like? What did the people think as they descended for the last time? What did the children dream in their rooms without windows? What prayers were whispered in the underground churches? What songs were sung in the communal halls? What stories were told in the lamplight? We will never know. The people who lived there left no written accounts, no diaries, no memoirs, only the stones, only the spaces, only the silence. And in that silence we can imagine, we can project our own dreams, our own fears, our own longings onto the empty chambers. The underground cities become mirrors. They reflect back to us our own relationship with darkness, with depth, with the hidden parts of ourselves. They ask us questions. Would you descend? Would you leave the surface world? Would you trade the sky for security, the sun for safety? What would you give up to survive? What would you preserve at any cost?
These are not idle questions. They are alive, urgent, because the impulse that drove people underground has not disappeared. The desire for sanctuary, for a hidden place, for a refuge when the world above becomes too dangerous, too hostile, too overwhelming. We still feel this. We still understand it. The underground cities speak to something deep in the human psyche, the need for a place to retreat to, a place that is ours, a place that cannot be taken from us, the earth itself as home, as mother, as protection. And there is something else, something harder to articulate, but deeply felt when you stand in those underground chambers, a sense of connection, of being part of a chain that stretches back through time, of standing where others stood, of breathing air in spaces carved by hands that have been dust for 1,000 years. The underground cities are time machines. They collapse the distance between past and present. They make history tangible, physical. You are not reading about the past, you are standing in it. Your hand touches the same wall that a Byzantine farmer touched. Your feet rest on the same stone floor where a child once played. The separation between then and now becomes thin, permeable, and for a moment you are connected. You are part of the continuous line of human existence. You are one of the countless people who have walked this earth, who have struggled and survived, who have built and hidden and persevered. You are their descendant, their heir, their continuation. Let this thought carry you now. Let it ease you into rest. You are connected to all the people who came before, to all the builders and carvers and dwellers in deep places, to all those who faced danger and found shelter, to all those who preserved what they loved in hidden places until it was safe to bring it back into the light. You are part of that story. You carry it forward, and one day someone will stand where you stood and feel the same connection, the same sense of being part of something larger than themselves, something that spans generations, something that endures. The underground cities of Cappadocia are still there, still waiting, still keeping their secrets and offering their silent welcome to those who descend. The corridors are empty now of life, but full of presence, full of memory, full of the accumulated weight of all the years, all the people, all the stories. They are not dead places, they are sleeping places, dreaming places, places where time moves differently, where the past is not gone, but only hidden, where if you listen carefully in the silence, you can almost hear them, the voices, the footsteps, the whispered prayers, the songs, the lives lived in darkness that somehow managed to create light.
Rest now in this knowledge. Rest in the image of the underground city, safe, hidden, protected by the earth itself. Imagine yourself in one of those small rooms carved from solid stone, the door sealed with its great stone disk. You are safe here. The world above may rage and burn, armies may march, storms may howl, but here, deep in the earth, you are held. You are protected. The stone embraces you. The darkness is not empty, but full of the presence of all who have sheltered here before you. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The earth remembers, the stone holds, and you, like all those who came before, are carried safely through the night in the womb of the world, waiting for the dawn when it will be safe to emerge, to climb the stairs, to push open the stone door and step back into the light. But not yet, not tonight. Tonight you rest. Tonight you sleep in the depths. Tonight you are held in the earth's embrace. And it is enough. It is everything. It is the peace that comes from knowing you are protected, that you are part of something larger, that you are connected to the endless chain of human survival and human creativity and human determination to endure no matter what. The underground cities teach us this, that we can survive, that we can adapt, that we can create beauty and community even in the darkness, that the light we need we carry within us, that home is not just the surface but the depths, not just the sky but the stone, not just the visible but the hidden. Sleep peacefully, child of the surface world. Dream deeply, as if you were resting in a chamber 85 meters beneath the earth. Let the weight of stone and soil and all the years press gently down upon you, not as burden, but as blessing, not as confinement, but as embrace. You are safe in the underground city. You are home in the hidden world. And when morning comes and you wake and rise and walk in the light, you will carry the knowledge with you, the knowledge that beneath every surface there are depths, that beneath every light there is a hidden darkness that is not empty but full, full of history, full of stories, full of all the hidden places where humanity has sheltered and survived and dreamed of better days. The underground cities are waiting, always ready. Should the world above become too harsh, should we need sanctuary, should we need to descend, they are there. The stone doors can be opened, the corridors can be walked, the chambers can be lit once more with lamplight, and life can continue in the depths as it has before, as it will again if needed. The earth is patient, the earth remembers, and the earth, when we need it, opens her arms and takes us in. Good night. Rest in the depths, dream in the darkness, and wake knowing that you are held, always, in the hidden places of the world, in the secret cities carved from stone, in the underground kingdoms where humanity learned that survival is an art, and that art can be practiced anywhere, even in the deepest darkness, even in the hidden places, even in the earth itself.